In a discovery that could shatter our understanding of history, scientists have unearthed what they believe is the lost tomb of Genghis Khan, hidden for centuries. The tomb's haunting contents are as enigmatic as they are terrifying, raising more questions than answers. What are the haunting artifacts inside, and how do they redefine what we thought we knew about the great Mongol conqueror? Prepare for a journey into the unknown, a revelation so shocking it has the potential to change the very essence of human understanding. Welcome to an exploration that will disrupt history and shake our foundations. This changes everything. The tomb of Genghis Khan has been an enigma throughout time, surrounded by myths and legends. The Mongol conqueror, famous for founding one of the largest empires, is said to have ordered that his final resting place be hidden and those who participated in the burial executed to keep it a secret. Stories tell how Genghis Khan diverted rivers and released wild horses to hide his tomb, making it one of the greatest historical secrets. Despite the tension between scientific research and cultural sensitivity fueled by the Mongolian belief that disturbing the tomb would bring calamity, the desire to uncover the enigma persists. Although previous attempts resulted in disappointments, the appeal of solving this mystery remains strong. Archaeologists have explored ancient texts, satellite images, and migration patterns to find clues. The recent idea that scientists could reveal this historical enigma was perceived as bold, challenging the barriers of tradition and culture. In the current era, turning our attention to the secrets of our past seems inevitable. The current revelation changes the way we view history, providing real evidence that challenges long-standing myths about Genghis Khan's tomb. This finding opens new avenues of academic research and presents a dilemma for Mongolia about how to handle international attention on a global level. It adds a shocking chapter to an ancient narrative, stripping away the folklore and forcing us to confront exciting but disturbing realities. A team of archaeologists, initially in Mongolia to study ancient weather patterns, stumbled upon the site near Burkhan Khaldun Mountain, long speculated to be the tomb of Genghis Khan. The discovery, supported by advanced technology such as ground radar, metal detectors, and drones, revealed an elaborate burial site with intricate carvings and symbols of power. The decisive moment came when deciphering inscriptions that resembled the ancient Mongolian sit, strongly indicating that it was the tomb of Genghis Khan. News of the discovery generated great excitement, promising to change historical research and challenge established narratives. However, the discovery brought with it complications. The Mongolian government was consulted at every step due to the monumental importance to the national heritage. With the media converging on the site, ethical considerations arose about excavating a place so linked to Mongolian culture and identity. The meticulous work continued for weeks with specialized scientists and local observers. Periodic revelations fueled discussions from the academic to the existential. Beyond the artifacts and historical documents, the discovery was perceived to unleash unforeseen results. Experts in linguistics, history, and anthropology were summoned, maintaining an interdisciplinary approach that never lost its amazement. They all recognized that they were part of something extraordinary, an effort that was rewriting chapters in the annals of human history. As archaeologists prepared to open Genghis Khan's tomb, anticipation was mixed with trepidation. Although they found impressive historical objects at the beginning, such as swords and armor, what they discovered next defied explanation. Among the riches, they found artifacts made from advanced materials, seemingly out of place in the 10th century. Some had inscriptions and symbols in unknown languages, executed with mechanical precision. Experts could not identify its origin or understand its meaning. Additionally, DNA testing revealed unusual genetic markers, distinct from any known lineage. This added a mysterious and complicated twist to the figure of Genghis Khan, challenging our understanding of his history. Unusual ritual elements were discovered in Genghis Khan's tomb, challenging known Mongol traditions. Ceremonial daggers, vessels with unknown compounds, and engravings on celestial bodies created an eerie atmosphere. Was Genghis Khan part of a forgotten belief, or was there something supernatural at play? One scroll displayed unknown landforms in translucent stones with intriguing properties that affected electronic devices. These findings challenged scientific categorization and our understanding of knowledge of that time. The key question: was Genghis Khan part of a more complex narrative than we thought? Reactions ranged from skepticism to fearful speculation. Some thought it was an elaborate hoax, while others considered the possibility of extraterrestrial contact. Although the most extreme theories were ruled out, the lack of definitive explanations left everyone baffled. Furthermore, the scientific data challenged the foundations of genetic and physical archaeology. DNA analysis and radiocarbon dating were used, crucial to understanding the story. However, the results did not match expectations, raising more questions than answers. DNA from the skeletal remains showed unusual markers and unexplained genetic material. Radiocarbon dating tests returned inconsistent results, with some items older than expected and others of an impossible age based on their condition. Anomalies continued with the composition of some artifacts made of materials and alloys challenging known metallurgical capabilities. Teams from various disciplines proposed theories without reaching clear conclusions, raising questions about quantum physics and possible new natural laws. This also challenged the conventional image of Genghis Khan, suggesting a more complex story with extraterrestrial influences. Nationally and internationally, Mongolia became the center of debate on cultural heritage, scientific ethics, and sovereignty. Negotiations over the tomb generated historical tensions, and the younger generation expressed opinions driving cultural and scientific changes. Bodies such as the UN and UNESCO discussed the tomb's status as World Heritage, addressing ethical and political issues at a global level. The controversy extended to archaeological ethics, possible cultural exploitation in the international market, and the intellectual property of technologies found in the tomb. In short, this complex discovery tested ethical and scientific rigor, revealing the complexities that influence our understanding of the past, present, and future. Now, imagine that the disappearance of one of the world's most historic rivers took place at the same time that a completely surprising discovery was made. An ancient river that has flowed for millennia has suddenly dried up, and in the midst of this transformation. Now, imagine if we told you that the disappearance of one of the most historic rivers in the world took place at the same time that a completely amazing discovery was made. An ancient river that has flowed for millennia has suddenly dried up. And in the midst of this transformation, the discovery of an ancient mythical being in the same area has emerged. Welcome to a new video where we will explore in detail the shocking discovery of Gilgamesh, the hero of Mesopotamian mythology, along with the mysterious phenomenon of the disappearance of the Euphrates River. The Tigris and Euphrates rivers join to form the Chat al-Arab River, which empties into the Persian Gulf. The Euphrates flows through Syria and Iraq, rising in Turkey. It is the longest river in Western Asia, at about 1,740 miles in length. In other languages it is called Jetprat in Armenian, Parat in Hebrew, Frat-10 in Turkish and Firat in Kurdish. In Manda it is known as Pra, and in scriptures as Pratua in Ginza Rabba. Mandaic scriptures view the Euphrates as an earthly version of the heavenly river Yarna. The first records of this river come from texts with reports in Surapaki, in southern Iraq, around the 3rd millennium. In Sumerian it is named Birakuna, indicating its divine character. In these beliefs, the Euphrates represents the celestial river that flows in the sky. The ancient cities of Babylon and Nineveh were located along the Euphrates River, in what is now Mesopotamia. The Euphrates played a pivotal role in the development of human civilization in that region. Throughout history, the river has served as a natural boundary between different governments and empires, making it an area of great importance and controversy. The Bible makes several mentions of the Euphrates, both in the Old and New Testaments, representing it as a powerful symbol of ancient empires. In the Old Testament, it is related to the Garden of Eden and the place of origin of humanity. Furthermore, it is one of the 4 rivers that are mentioned as flowing from Eden after creation. It also served as the natural boundary for the country promised to the Israelites, and crossing it was illegal at the time. From a historical and mythological perspective in Mesopotamia, the discovery of the statue of Gilgamesh marks a significant turning point in the investigation of ancient Near Eastern literature. Gilgamesh is a prominent character. It is mentioned that the kings of the East will gather their troops before the Battle of Armageddon in a place that refers to the Euphrates River. The New Testament also mentions this river and says that it dried up in the book of Revelation to allow the eastern kingdoms to run unhindered. There are some mentions of Mesh in non-cuneiform writings, and after George Smith noted it, the flood account in the Epic of Gilgamesh remains an open connection between the Hebrew Bible and Mesopotamian epic storytelling. Additionally, a Dead Sea Scrolls manuscript called the Book of Giants could contain the name of the heroic protagonist Gilgamesh, as one of the world's oldest heroes. Gilgamesh could be considered the grandfather of ancient and modern heroic figures. The Epic of Gilgamesh, a literary classic that originated in ancient Mesopotamia, tells the story of this legendary king. The epic tells of the travels of Gilgamesh, a king who ruled Uruk around 2700 BC. The recent rediscovery of this epic marked a crucial event, the advancement in our knowledge of the ancient Near East. It also changed our way of studying the Hebrew Bible in the future. The spread over time and in several languages of the legends of Gilgamesh demonstrates the great interest that this character generated in the ancient Near East and beyond. In archaeological excavations in places from Iraq to Turkey, fragments of the original version of the text have been found. It is widely believed that the authors of the Hebrew Bible knew the story of Gilgamesh and used this knowledge to inspire elements and contrasts in their own text. In 2003, archaeologists in Iraq believed they had discovered the lost tomb of Gilgamesh. He ruled the ancient Sumerian city of Uruk and was the protagonist of the first documented story in human history some 3,000 years ago. This story, called the Epic of Gilgamesh, was written on clay tablets in Sumerian around 2700 BC. The narrative functioned as a memory of the life of this leader of Uruk, one of the oldest and most powerful cities in the region. It is possible that the modern name of Iraq comes from the ancient city of Uruk, although this claim is disputed. The story of Gilgamesh's adventures, his quest for immortality and his clashes with mythical creatures, is told in the Epic of Mesh. In 2003, a German expedition announced it had discovered what was believed to be the entire city of Uruk, including the supposed burial place of the famous ruler, Mesh. This place was surrounded by the ancient Euphrates River before its course changed. According to George, head of the Bavarian Department of Historical Monuments in Munich, although it cannot be said with certainty that it was Mesh's grave, it bears similarities to ancient descriptions. Gilgamesh is believed to have been buried under the Euphrates in a tomb built after his death and the river's relocation. This account is preserved on clay tablets. Fassbender explained that advanced techniques allowed the discovery of the ancient city under the sands of the Iraqi desert. Structures were found that matched those mentioned in the epic, such as gardens and dwellings. Also highlighted was the discovery of a complex canal network, possibly affected by floods that destroyed some buildings. This suggests the existence of an advanced system in the area, similar to Venice but in the desert. The Tigris and Euphrates rivers have a long history and are mentioned in ancient writings, even in future predictions. These rivers have existed for thousands of years. The Tigris joins the Euphrates and empties into the Persian Gulf in a region called Near the Euphrates, along with the Nile River in Africa. These rivers form the Fertile Crescent, an area of the Middle East rich in soil and considered the cradle of civilization. Both rivers are related to Mesopotamia, a territory between them and part of the Fertile Crescent. These rivers are mentioned in ancient texts, including the Bible and the Attics, in creation and in prophecy about the end of the world, which shows their antiquity. However, in recent years, the Tigris and Euphrates in the Middle East have decreased due to human activity and climate change. There is a danger that they will dry out in the coming decades, affecting the environment and biodiversity. The depletion of water has led to the extinction of species and the degradation of habitats. Furthermore, these rivers maintain the biological balance of the area, and their drying has altered this balance. The drying up of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers has had positive effects on archaeology. Many ancient artifacts are being discovered in these rivers, including a city built 3,400 years ago. This occurred when the Mosul Reservoir, formerly known as the Saddam Dam, in northern Iraq, dried up due to the ongoing drought in the area. This city emerged from the waters of the Tigris River, specifically from the Azul Reservoir. Archaeologists have found ruins and artifacts from the Matan Empire era and the Bronze Age, between 1550 and 1350 BC. It is also thought that the urban center, which contains large buildings and palaces, may have been the ancient metropolis of Psycho. Although these rivers could be endangered in the future, they are still useful. Despite the risk of losing these valuable resources, we continue to access them. If the water levels continue to drop, we'll find more historical relics. But this will require a significant financial cost. Asia, the largest and most varied landmass on our planet, offers both the highest mountains and the lowest valleys, the longest coastlines and the widest range of climatic extremes found anywhere on Earth. Bounded by the Arctic, Pacific and Indian Oceans, as well as the Red Sea and smaller inland seas, it has supported the most diverse variety of plant and animal life throughout the ages. Throughout ancient civilizations, this region has also been home to many unusual and sometimes terrifying discoveries that scientists continue to uncover. From possible signs of human sacrifice to the role of demons in prehistoric times. Fire mummies. Unlike the Egyptians, ancient Filipino tribes had a unique way of treating their dead. They turned them into fire mummies. This involved subjecting the bodies to intense fire instead of embalming them. When someone was about to die, they were given a lot of salt to dehydrate the body from the inside. After dying, the bodies were roasted for weeks or months. Sometimes even hot embers were placed inside them to burn them from the inside. Once completely dry, the bodies were made into a kind of compact human jerky and placed in small lemon-shaped coffins called kamanzi. These coffins were hidden in remote caves in the mountains. When the Spanish colonizers arrived in the 15th century, these practices disappeared due to the Catholic burial customs they brought. However, the Caban caves, where the mummies were found, were later rediscovered. So far, more than 300 fire mummies have been found in these caves, some up to 100 years old with tribal tattoos visible on their skin. The Bowl of Gold. In 1958, archaeologists in northwestern Iran discovered a shattered bowl of gold in the charred remains of an ancient fortress called Harts or Hizar-Anshan. This Iron Age fortress was near present-day Panur. The bowl was more than 3,000 years old and belonged to the royal domains of Urartu, an Iron Age kingdom in Armenia. The bowl was decorated with images of warriors, chariots, and mythological figures made of solid gold. Although very valuable in its time, it was found damaged among the ruins of Harts. Experts believe that around 800 BC, Harts was attacked by enemies who invaded the city during the chaos of the invasion. 3 soldiers attempted to take the golden bowl, but were trapped under rubble as the city was destroyed by fire. His outstretched hands held the shattered remains of the bowl. These soldiers were not heroes, but looters who risked their lives for material gain and lost both their lives and treasure. This shattered bowl is a reminder of the dangers of looting and greed in times of war, and how it often leads to significant human and material losses. Homo floresiensis. What discovery could be more important than finding an ancient inhabitant species? In 2003, on the island of Flores, a team of archaeologists found tiny human remains in the Liangbua cave. These humans, known as Homo floresiensis, were very small, with brains much smaller than modern humans. Although they were small, they were not simply dwarfs or developmentally disabled, but a different species that lived on the island about 50,000 years ago. Surprisingly, they also found tools and evidence of fire, suggesting they were intelligent and had advanced survival skills. This discovery challenges our ideas about human evolution and makes us think about the possibility of finding other forgotten human relatives. Flores hobbits show why there are always new discoveries waiting for us, even about ourselves. The Devil on a Clay Tablet, in 2020, an ancient 20,700-year-old clay tablet found decades ago in an ancient Assyrian sanctuary was translated. This tablet depicts a demon named Zo and contains descriptions of an ancient exorcism ritual. It offers rare insights into Mesopotamian demonology and popular medicine of that time. Originally, the tablet was found in a sacred cave in northern Iraq, which was part of a temple dedicated to the gods Asadu, Ashur, and Orda. During excavations in the 1950s, archaeologists discovered this tablet along with other ancient objects. In it, Zo is depicted as a winged demon with horns, a human body, bird legs and tail, and a tongue similar to that of a snake. The text explains that Zo was considered an evil spirit capable of possessing humans and causing problems such as seizures and strange behavior. At that time, the Assyrian and Babylonian people believed that these afflictions were caused by demonic forces rather than physical illnesses. The inscription on the tablet describes an incantation that priests recited in an exorcism ritual to expel Zo, stating that thanks to the power of the gods Tanu and Shamash, Zo's spirit would be expelled and left defenseless. Mohenjo-Daro was an ancient city in the Indus Valley, in present-day Pakistan and India. It was one of the most advanced cities of the Bronze Age, with a population of more than 35,000 people around 2500 BC. However, it was completely abandoned around 1800 BC. And its ruins remained forgotten for a long time. Archaeologists began investigating it in the 1920s and discovered many interesting details, but also a dark mystery about its disappearance. The name Mohenjo-Daro means Mound of the Dead in Sindhi, due to the human skeletons scattered among the rubble. The city is believed to have suffered catastrophic flooding that contaminated the water and spread disease. It has also been suggested that it may have been invaded by nomadic Indo-Aryan tribes migrating to the region. The remains show signs of violence, such as injuries to the skulls and skeletons in the streets. Chemical analyses possibly indicate the use of incendiary weapons during the destruction of the city. Although natural disasters played a role, evidence suggests that the city also experienced a violent end. Although we do not know who the conquerors were, the name Mound of the Dead reminds us of the terrible costs of war in ancient times. Anunnaki tablets. The ancient astronaut theory raises the idea that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in the past and had an impact on ancient civilizations. Its supporters cite evidence such as the Egyptian pyramids and ancient Sumerian tablets. These tablets mention the Anunnaki, beings who came searching for gold, modified the first humans, and brought advanced technology. Although most scholars consider the Anunnaki to be part of mythology, proponents of this theory believe in a real intervention of extraterrestrials in Earth's history. Ultimately, regardless of whether or not we believe in this theory, it demonstrates our curiosity to explain our origins and our relationship with the universe. Ancient stories about gods descending from the sky reflect our search for meaning more than they do reality. Whether or not ancient aliens existed remains a mystery, but our fascination with these possibilities continues to drive our search for answers to our enigmatic beginnings. Hidden ruins of the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal in Agra, India, is famous for its beautiful Islamic architecture and romantic history. as it was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in the 15th century in memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. The legends about hidden chambers in the Taj Mahal and the mystery behind them are fascinating topics. Some of these legends suggest that the Taj Mahal could have been built on top of an ancient Hindu temple dedicated to Shiva, and the sealed chambers could contain evidence of this theory. Other legends speak of the possibility that Emperor Shah Jahan planned to use the Taj Mahal as his own mausoleum, and the lower chambers could have been designed to bury royalty. It is true that underground scans were carried out that confirmed the presence of a chamber behind the walls on the lower level of the Taj Mahal. However, due to the risk of damaging the historic building, these chambers remain closed to the public and their contents and purpose remain a mystery. The Taj Mahal is an impressive monument with a rich history and many associated stories and mysteries. The legends and mysteries surrounding this iconic building only add to its aura of wonder and awe. As for the hanging pillar at the Lapakshi Temple, it is a striking example of the skill and architectural knowledge of ancient Indian builders. The illusion of the pillar floating in the air without any visible support is an astonishing achievement. This pillar has endured for more than 4 centuries and remains a testament to the ingenuity and technical skill of those who designed and built it. These monuments remind us of the rich architectural and cultural heritage of India.